Well, good morning. Beautiful morning, about 3 degrees. I think it's the first day I've started without long johns on since the seeding has began. We've been finding all sorts of antler sheds. That's been a win. It's probably $30 worth of antlers right there. I found another one the other day. So I was seeding across the road here where the drill is parked. Got 100 acres of that yesterday. Everything was going on a little light. Canola was going on a little light, probably maybe half a pound an acre too light, judging by what's left in the tank. And fertilizer was going on a little too light too. So thankfully she put way too much, or not way too much, she put more nitrogen on than we had planned because the blend is going on a little lighter. So first thing we're gonna do this morning is get this truck all right, and get the fertilizer truck. So we're just using our tandem here now because we brought all that fertilizer home earlier on. So I'm going to take the tandem out there. We'll get it full of fertilizer, we'll get it full of seed, and then we'll calibrate it one more time. Cruising away. We're all the way at the north end of this 200-acre piece here. I really like this place. I thought this would always been such a cool place to build down here because it's one of the rare places where you don't see an oil well right there, or just across the fence from where you live. Everywhere else is dotted with various oil facilities, but down here, aside from needing a mile-long driveway, you could have yourself a little creek. It'd be all sorts of nice down here. Super sheltered, out of the way. But there's no services down here, so it's a little ways away from the yard. So it'll just have to be a spot that a guy comes down and has a little picnic at every once in a while in the summer. I also got to raise the question of these screens or whatever and these readouts. Why is it that when you select something like 100 pounds or 5 point whatever pounds, it never ever reads that, no matter what you do? Like, it'll get to 99 and it'll just stay at 99. Like, why can't it just say 100? That's what it's supposed to say. And if I go to 105, it'll say that. And then on the other hand, this one is supposed to say 5.2 and it mostly does. So I'm awfully confused at technology. I don't know why it does that. And it'll stay at 99 just consistent. I don't get it. Oh, Coy was in the yard making a few bags. She texted me that the joystick in the old telehandler failed her. So there's a lockout switch on the back console in there that cuts power to the joystick. So What I'm hoping is that switch has failed, because for the joystick to lose all power or whatever, hopefully it's that switch, which would be a lot easier fix than start to troubleshoot the gremlins anyways. I'm not sure what I got left here. I gotta get to the trees, and it's they're very, very short rounds, so hopefully I got enough fertilizer to finish here, and then we move to the big west half. Not too far to go at all. Super polluted over here. I had made a TikTok about whatever, this screen not working, and somebody had commented to get this John Deere-ish system or whatever. It says, oh, it's 2 monitors and a couple of globes, and 10 grand per monitor and $4,500 for a globe, and you need 2 and this and that, and they carried on, and I thought, like, holy man, I couldn't imagine dumping that much money into like extra technology. Because that's like a updated option from all of this stuff, right? You don't have to get New Holland specific stuff in the tractor. I mean, that's how it comes, but you can rip this out and put John Deere stuff in here, or whatever you think is better. And at this point, I'm pretty much convinced that John Deere is better, but there is no way I would make the leap to rip all of this technology out of here just to put John Deere stuff in. I think what would make more sense is to try to find a green tractor. Oh, well, I just had to stop and get some fertilizer, threw the old GoPro up on the tank there. But I do gotta say, these cameras in your tanks, that's an absolute game changer. So this used to have, hey, this has 100, look at that. These used to have, these were sonar-ish things. I think they tend to tick down, and anyways, it would read the level of your tank, which was pretty cool. But they were like $700 a piece, and I think there was 2. There's a low tank volume sensor, and then there's that like sonar one that actually respond, like this would fill up and then start to go down. But that's only like, I mean, like a visual reference, right? I mean, you don't really know exactly how much is in there, you know, when it's down to say this last tick. When you have a camera, you can see for sure, like, yeah, no, I'm out, or I even what side you're running out of. So I had said before in a different video, just because of the configuration of this drill, you get the one side that has 3 hoses of the roller, and then the other side has 2 segments of roller. So if you see, there's 1, 2, 3 towers to the right of the screen, and there's 2 on that side. So instead of that roller being split into equal segments, there's 2 on that side and 3 on this side. So you go through half as much product on this side of the screen, looking down there. So this side, that's actually why I dumped the bags, and I dumped 1 extra bag just on this side, so it goes down more at the same rate. That was definitely an oversight or an afterthought or whatever of designing a drill like this. They should have split that last run into, well, they should have split it all up. 50 divided by, say, 6 or something. Even if they had to make the manifolds a little smaller. Our flexi coil is like that, actually. I think there's like, all of them have 7, and then the one tower has 8. So you don't lose a whole bunch of precision placement, because it's actually fairly barbaric the way it's set up anyways, where it just drops seed into one big 2-inch hose and then shoots it all through, and then it's supposed to distribute evenly at each tower. That's something that Dad and I, we talked about ever since we bought that first flexi coil, is how does it know? Maybe the majority of the seeds going out of your 10 runs there is going down 2 or 3 of the runs. And of course, you know, watching so much YouTube videos from around certainly North America, but even globally, you see these precision planters that are seeding corn, and they're trying to get their triangulation and singulation and depth and seed placement and spacing and skips and all this. They're getting it dialed down, so they're getting one corn kernel every 1.5 inches, every so deep, and blah blah blah. I mean, if they were to look at an air seeder like this, I'm sure they would just shake their head and be like, "How do you guys even grow a crop?" Because, like I say, you got a roller in there that's about this wide, and it's just slowly turning, and it's grabbing as much seed, and you don't know if it's like bridged off a little bit for a second or whatever. You have no idea, and it drops that down into a big 2-inch hose, comes from the tank all over the place, and then it hits one of these towers, which has 10 hoses coming out of it. And that volume of seed, when it hits that tower, it has to decide which way it's going, which one of them 10 tubes it's going down. And like I say, I mean, you'd be naive to think that it's split up evenly over all 10. I'm sure going down, you can assume that a few of them hoses, maybe depending on the roll of the land or whatever, are getting quite a bit more seeds than the other ones. And it's actually one of the reasons why having monitors that will actually do seed rate as well as blockage is pretty interesting, because if I have this set in blockage mode now, that's why this number is so huge. So it will only tell me if I have a plugged run. It won't tell me if there's any other issues. But if you set it to rate mode, where you tell it that it's getting 5 pounds per acre, then that's when you'll start to see them change, and you'll see I don't know why this one, I haven't figured out why they don't turn yellow. My other set of monitors, they actually turned yellow if they weren't getting the right rate. These ones just turn red, and I don't know if it's a setting that I have in there, or maybe these are even too old, because there was a situation where I had to get an old iPad to sync up with an old wireless transmitter or whatever you want to call it, and that's why I had to dig this old one out. But this is probably a prime example. That one stayed red for a lot longer, so that tube out of these 10 wasn't getting as many seeds as the rest of them, so it looked like it was plugged. Anyways, I think I talk about that specific topic every single seeding season, so we're not going to go much more into that. If you get it, you get it. If you know, you know. And if you don't, it's something you kind of have to be involved in to understand what's happening or not happening, or potentially not happening. But anyways, we are going round and around. Looks like I got about 2 rounds left. I just got to get to the that bush line right there, and I got one pass done out from it. So not too much left, and that'll be the first 200 acres of canola in the ground. Then we'll move out west. Of course, after a quick stop in the yard, grab a little bit of fuel, a couple more bags of seed. Corey just ran out and filled me up with fertilizer because I was going to run out, which is should be going bang on for the acres I've done, the fertilizer I've used. So, yeah. Morning. Hello, doggies. So I just got this time last year, TikTok sent to my phone. It was snowing like crazy. We had like 3-4 inches of snow on this day last year. Hadn't seeded an acre yet. And this year we are 2,200 acres in. So I was out west yesterday, got the outside rounds done on that big half section, and I got about 160 acres of it done. So can't be too sad about that. Oh, look at that. I got a bolt coming loose there, so I'm gonna have to get a wrench, get that tightened up. It's easier to check this stuff when it's winged up. I'm back to 3/4 of an inch. So Seedmaster recommends you leave it at this in recessed notch. These other ones are out and this one's in, so that's 3/4 of an inch. They say in most seeding conditions you don't have to adjust it from that. Well, last year I didn't really adjust it from that, and I think I paid for it in yield and everything else. So this year we've been as much as 1.25 inches or a little better. I think this only goes to 1.5 inches. So the cereals, we put them a little deeper, and the canola we're back to a little shallower. Now, surprisingly, out west there, I I'm still into the moisture, which is crazy to me because Mother anhydrous that, and I thought if she worked it, she would have dried it right out. But anyways, let's get adding some gas, and then we'll wash these windows, and then we'll get going out there. Man, I do not know what's going on with me and this overlapping nonsense. I got these chains hung at the end because that last shank is quite a bit outside the tire. So that chain dragging in the furrow shows me that I'm on track. And I'm pretty sure, unless my eyes have gone all for heck, that I was only overlapping like 12 inches. Of course, there was times when this GPS gave out on me that I was overlapping a foot or two, or sorry, a couple feet, but not the whole field. And I got like, so this field, this half, so all the way back to there, and all the way up to there, like it's almost a full half. The only thing that's out of there is a tiny little bit of trees, which is hardly measurable. And then the creek cuts a little bit. And of course, because it's dry, we actually seeded right through the draw and everything this year. So I should have got, let's say on a max, I could have got, right, is 320, 160 acres per quarter, 2 quarters. Let's say there was probably 300, I don't know, at least 310. Probably only 10 acres missing. And I'm pretty sure I seeded, according to this garbage monitor, I can't even get back to it. I got 350. So it's just irritating. I don't know what's going on here. This is the first year where this has gotten like right away from me. But I gotta get. So also, this is really the first year we seeded the whole crop with this tractor, and this GPS is just not. It's just not jiving. It's not, something's wrong. I've done all the measurements, I've done all the calibrations. Something in the software is wrong. When I set it to 50 feet, it's like 4 feet wide every pass. So I gotta set it narrower, right? So I mean, there's something mixed up between maybe units, metric, imperial, something mixed up with software, something maybe bad senders, I don't know. But we're basically done the canola. So now I had that much left. That's like a quarter of a bag. So I'm just seeding it out on the headlands. There's nothing you can do. I mean, I guess a guy could clean it out and put it in a bag and mark it and seed it next year, but I mean, you might as well just put it in the ground. I'm not, by the time the mouse finds it and the squirrel builds a nest in it and you forget what it is and throw it out, or whatever nonsense happens there, you may as well just seed her out. I am waiting for the tire man to come anyways, because when I got out to throw a couple bags in the drill, because we only put 50 acres in at a time, like 5 bags. That way, if something happens, it goes all wacko, and your roller speeds up, or your fan speed feeds up, and you don't notice it. I mean, there are alarms for that, but you don't lose like all of your canola seed, right? We've heard stories of guys, and we've done it on our farm too, where you throw in like, throw enough for 160 acres in, because a tank would hold like enough to do the whole entire farm, right? Because you can only seed it in such a small rate. But they put it all in at once, and they don't set it right, and they make 2 or 3 rounds, and it's all gone. Well, at $600 a bag, if you throw in 5 bags, right, that's $3,000 you just threw in there. And if you make 2 rounds, and you're supposed to make 20 rounds, that's hard on the old wallet. So that's what we do. And as you can see, it's basically piddling out now. You can actually, well, you can't see them because it's shaking so bad because I'm on the headland, but I can see the agitator agitating, and I'm gonna climb down in there with my broom and sweep the rest of that canola into those rollers. Turn around here, because I gotta leave out that approach because I don't trust myself hitting that power line up there. So, and then that's gonna be it. We've got, what, 2,360 acres in, and we've got basically 400 acres of keys to do. So it's gonna put us at what, 2760, which is okay. We are at like 2,500 acre farm, and we picked up that extra quarter, so we should have been around 26, I think 26.50 or something. So to get 27, that's okay. I got, I know something's not right. This monitor is set for a 50-foot drill because it's the drill monitor, and the monitor for the tractor I got set at 47 feet. So, and it's all not jiving. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching. We are going to switch over to peas tomorrow, so we will see you all then. All right, well, I just got this set to calibrate, so I'm going to drop that manifold and clean out that canola, but I figured I may as well show you my latest addition to the tire. Got antler there. I'm not exactly sure how long it's been in there. This tire looks quite a bit rougher than that tire. So I didn't pull it out, because if I pull it out, it's gonna deflate. As at this point, it's still got lots of air in it. And I actually had Dad bring me out the air compressor, and it just pump some more in there. So we'll see what I'm gonna jump in there and pull ahead, and then we'll see what the tire man says when he gets here. If I should just take it home and take it off, they can throw a tube in it. He thought he might be able to plug it. We'll see what he says when he gets here. I think she's maybe new drill time. Maybe I should buy a 100-foot drill. When you got hunks like this big half here, no lease road, no, hardly any rock piles. There used to be a bluff of trees and a granary in the middle, but we took that out. Gonna have somebody whack that little bluff of trees out. Seed it north and south. What's a new drill worth? Does anybody know? $500,000? 700,000 I heard. Probably have to stick with this one for a few more years. Also, one thing I'm getting better at doing is remembering to clean my canola out in the field. So I would always be in such a rush and be so excited to be done that I would just go home and then I'd clean it out in the yard, and then you spill. And yeah, no BS. That's probably like $25 worth of canola right there. So, I mean, it may as well be out in the field, kicked around, blown around, rained in, whatever. If it's gonna grow, it's gonna grow. If it's not, it's not. But if it's out here and it decides to grow, there's a heck of a lot better chance of it getting swathed and combined than if it's growing in the gravel in the yard in front of the shop. So, going all the way out or what?